Good evening. We're so happy you could be here this evening to our November program, Happy and Healthy Holidays. Did you know that the first Thanksgiving celebration was held in Plymouth, Massachusetts for 3 days in 1621? That was kind of new to me. We celebrate Thanksgiving only one day out of the year, right? But the interesting thing is that the average American has 4,500 calories on Thanksgiving Day. So that makes it 2 times the calories for a man recommended per day. So that's like eating 2 days in a row Thanksgiving food. And then for a female, it's 3 times the recommended amount. And so people gain an average of 1 to 2 pounds. They used to say 6 to 7, but that wasn't true. But you know, gaining 1 or 2 pounds every year, year after year after year, what happens, the weight keeps on piling up, and before we know it, we are overweight. So we want to learn some ways how we can eat healthy and also enjoy our family and friends. I'd like to talk to you about 7 principles for healthy and happy holidays. Principle number 1 is the food needs to be healthy and tasty. Because if it tastes good, we're going to enjoy it. But if it's also healthy, then we will have our loved ones much more around for a longer period of time. And that's what it's all about. Unfortunately, that many of the dishes that they serve on Thanksgiving are high in calories, they're high in fat, and they are not healthy. So we would like to show you some options that you may enjoy or maybe you may not enjoy. Another important principle is that we eat moderately. Now, that's a hard thing to do when there's a lot of good food around, isn't it? But this is the key to a healthy lifestyle. What does it mean to be moderate? Anybody has an idea here?
Eat what you need.
Eat what you need. I like that. Okay.
Portions. Just take the small, healthy instead of keeping your plate.
Very good. Watch your portions. Excellent. Yes, and staying away from foods and beverages that are detrimental to our health. That is another one. But not only that, even nutritious and healthful food should be eaten in moderation. I could eat a very healthy vegetarian or plant-based meal. If I overeat, is that going to be healthy? You know, I will not feel good afterwards and the effects will not be good. So we want to be moderate. We want to limit our desserts. Those of you who like sweets, and I'm one of them, it is when you see, 2 or 3 different sweets on a table, you like to have all of them. What are some options to do? To choose only one, or perhaps little bites of each one, little pieces, or sharing it with your friend, half or 1/3 or whatever you like. But planning ahead as you look at the table, I'm going to have dessert, therefore I will not take so much of the main course of the meal. And it's important to get some exercise. Sometimes during the holidays, people get lazy, they don't exercise, they drop out of their schedule of exercising or going to the gym, and that's not a good thing. Our family used to have an early morning walk every morning, and especially during the holidays. That was a big thing, to go for a walk, and the men would get together and do wood chopping. And that was a fun activity. So there are things we can do even during the holidays to stay healthy. And then after the meal, the Thanksgiving meal, we can go for a walk, right? So there are ways of staying healthy even when we're eating food. The other most important point I want to say is to enjoy relationships. We want to make our family and our friends a priority. And often during the holidays, people think of things and gifts that they're going to get, or gifts they're going to give, or gifts that they have to purchase. And there's so much hustle and bustle about gift giving and so forth, but it's really about enjoying each other's company. That's the most important. because things come and go, but the relationships are not, they're very fragile, and the people we love don't always stay around. And during the holidays, look for ways to do something nice for others, not only for your family members, but for your neighbors, for people who are in need, for people who really need some special care and kindness. And surprise people with kindness. Doing a kind deed, doing a kind activity, a kind favor to a neighbor, to a friend, to a coworker, someone who is in need is a good thing to do. It makes us feel better, and it even works on our immunity, as you're going to find out a little later on. So now, and the last point is to be thankful. And we want to be thankful to God, our Creator, for all His blessings, all the riches He has given us. And we will talk about that a little later. But I want to talk now about some nutrients, vitamins and minerals that build our immunity. And one of them is selenium. Selenium is a powerful mineral that works on our immune system, and it works together with vitamin E and C to prevent free radical damage in our body. And it has the potential to slow down bladder cancer, breast cancer, colon cancer, rectal cancer, lung, and prostate cancers. Did you know what is the best source of selenium? From this picture that I have here, can you guess which one would be the best source?
Mushroom, broccoli, sunflower.
They're all good, yes. Sunflower, there's sesame seeds and flax seeds, but the very best source is Brazil nuts. And some of us don't eat these very often, but they're very, very high in selenium. And so a good food to eat. But remember, they're high in calories, so just a few. A fourth of a cup is maybe 3 or 4 nuts at a time, not more than that. Another important vitamin for our immunity is vitamin C. As we know, it increases white blood cell production, and it is very connected to our immune system. It does a lot of good things for our body, but we often think just of eating an orange or a grapefruit from vitamin C, but as you can see, all these foods are very rich in vitamin C. So we can get plenty if we eat a variety of papayas, and there's greens, and especially sweet bell peppers are an excellent source of vitamin C, strawberries, and Brussels sprouts. And vitamin E, another powerful antioxidant that helps your body fight off infection. And we can find these in almonds and also in broccoli, and again, the seeds are very powerful. So adding some of these flax seeds to your breakfast, how many of you add 2 tablespoons of ground flaxseed to your breakfast? That's a very good thing to do. Also adding maybe a 1/4 cup of sunflower seeds on your cereal, it's another good thing to do. And spinach is another good source of vitamin E. And then we have vitamin A. Now, vitamin A is a very colorful vitamin because it has carotenoids. And so all your colorful yellow and deep green vegetables are full of vitamin A. Your butternut squash, your sweet potatoes and carrots and kale. Can you figure out what's the food on the right that's yellow and round?
Apricots.
Apricots, dry apricots are a good source of vitamin A. Now, it's interesting, Harvard Medical School had a publication, and they were saying the best way to keep your immune system healthy is not to run to the drugstore and, to buy some kind of a medication over the counter for your cold, but to adopt healthy living strategies. And so these are their words, how to boost your immunity. Number 1, don't smoke. Number 2, eat a diet that is high in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and low in saturated fats, which are animal fats. Exercise regularly. Maintain a healthy weight. Control your blood pressure. If you drink alcohol, drink in moderation. And our advice is to eliminate alcohol altogether. Get adequate sleep. And wash your hands frequently to make sure that you don't get any infections, and get regular medical screening tests. So it's a very simple way of boosting our immunity. Now, it's also interesting that in 1905, a health educator by the name of Ellen White wrote about natural remedies, which was kind of very similar to what Harvard Medical School published. Pure air, sunlight, abstemiousness, which is moderation, rest, exercise, proper diet, the use of water, trust in divine power. These are the true remedies. Every person should have knowledge of nature's remedial agencies and how to apply them. So that's why we're here. Some of you may be wondering, why are we doing this every month or every other month? Because we believe that our Creator has put in nature certain remedies that will make us feel good and healthy, and that will give us good mental, physical health, and spiritual health. So we are trying to share these with you. So Thanksgiving is a holiday most Americans especially enjoy. It's a time to reflect past year's blessings and be thankful for all the blessings of life. It's a time to reflect on God's blessings in our lives. And this is when families gather and thank God for all the blessings He has given them. But you know, what happens after Thanksgiving? Comes, what is it, Black Friday, when people go shopping and they forget everything what there is to be thankful for. You know, it would be very good if we would all cultivate an attitude of gratitude every day of our lives, not only on Thanksgiving Day. And along with you, I would like to learn the art of being more thankful each day. Now, there has been some research done about gratitude and how it affects our health. And two famous doctors, Dr. Robert Emmons from UC Davis in California and Dr. Michael McCulloch from the University of Miami, did research, much research on gratitude. And they put people in two groups. The first group, they asked them to keep a gratitude journal for 1 week. And they had them write 5 things they are thankful for. So, for example, one might have said, I'm thankful, and to write it in whole sentences. I'm thankful today for the beautiful sunrise I saw. Or I'm thankful that I was able to encourage my coworker at work. Or I'm thankful that I was able to be patient with my husband when I felt like exploding. Okay, so very specific things. And at the same time, they asked another group to write their daily irritations, things that bothered them, things that displeased them. And what was the result? The people in group 1 were happier, they were more optimistic, they had less physical symptoms of illness. These are all the benefits of being grateful and thankful. They felt more loved and cared for by others. They even exercised more. Isn't that amazing? Just writing into a journal the things we're thankful for makes us more willing to take care of our health. They had less visits to the doctor. They engaged in flexible and creative thinking, felt more connected with others, and coped better with trials and adversities. So why did that happen? Because we have in our body an endorphin factory. I'm sure most of you have heard of endorphins. And when we appreciate and are thankful, our bodies produce endorphins. These are feel-good chemicals. And they help diminish the pain while giving us positive feelings. They give us a natural high. And like this writer says, nothing tends more to promote health of the body and of the soul than does a spirit of gratitude and praise. So this has been proven, and I would like to practice being more grateful and more praising. Would you like to join me in that? The researcher said that becoming grateful leads people to find more things to be grateful for. So it's like a domino effect. When you start being grateful and looking at positive things in others and in your day, even if there were negative things, you're going to get better at it and see more positive things. You're going to feel better and better. We have a handout that we gave you. It's a gratitude self-test. Did you all get that?
Yeah.
So you can take that at home. And on the back of it, there are tips how you can, or on the front of it, sorry. On the back of it is how to prepare for the holidays, but on the front of it is tips how to develop gratitude, how to start your own thankfulness journal. You know, there was a chaplain in a psychiatric hospital who wanted to try this approach of being thankful. How does that affect one's health? And he tried it with one of the girls he saw. Her name was Brittany. Now, Brittany was there for depression for many times in this hospital. And each time she was admitted, he went to visit her. And finally, he figured out something about her. She was a very negative person. And she would complain about the nurses that were insensitive. She would complain about the psychiatrist who was making too much money, about the meat that was tough, about the mean physical therapist, and the list went on and on. And so he knew that her observations were irrational, so he decided he had a cure for her. And he said to her one day, "Brittany, I have a cure for you, for your depression." And she perked up immediately and she said, "What?" And he says, "Brittany, I want you to make a list of all the things that you think you could be thankful for. And then I want you to read this list every morning, several times, and every night. The second thing I want you to do, the second part of the cure, is to express your appreciation to one nurse in your unit. And the third, and this is every day, and the third part of the cure is to write a letter to a friend back home and encourage them." A few days later, Brittany shared her list with the chaplain. "Listen to all the things I'm thankful for." And she went on and on and on, and she began to respond better to her medicine. And she even went to the chapel, and she sang with enthusiasm her favorite song, "God Will Take Care of You." And her demeanor brightened. She started to smile and laugh. And after she was discharged, she was never admitted again. So this program does work. This program of gratefulness definitely works. So what are some things that you and I can do? We can write letters of appreciation. In this day and age when everybody's sending text messages, how nice it is to get a handwritten letter. A thank you letter, a letter of appreciation. Love letters to your family, spouses, friends. Surprises. Flowers, any kind of surprise. I had an interesting experience a few years. I came to church, and I was not feeling good that day. I dropped my family off. I was ready to go home. And I'm just sitting ready to start driving away, and this little 4-year-old from church comes and knocks on my window. "Sister Lily, I brought you a flower." It just brightened my day. I got out of the car and I went to church, and it was wonderful. So surprising someone, you never know it may be at a moment that they need the surprise and that they need the encouragement that will help them. And don't forget putting lunchbox notes. We used to do that for the kids when they were little, but if you're packing a lunch for someone, why not do it now? It's a nice thing to do. And give more hugs. This is amazing, the research on hugs. I'll go over it briefly. That hugs stimulate dopamine, which is the good, happy hormone. It stimulates serotonin, another happy hormone. And they have found that babies who are well hugged have less stress. Hugging enhances the immune system. It lowers heart rate and heart disease. It lowers high blood pressure. It helps to change the way our body handles stress. So I encourage you to hug more. And what about giving non-birthday gifts to people you care about? What about washing a car for someone, ironing their clothes, cleaning their room, making a garden or weeding a garden? There are numerous ways of showing appreciation to others. Does anyone recognize this man? No, they all looked like that in whatever, the 1500s, similar. This is Matthew Henry, the famous preacher and scholar. And I have read some of his commentaries when I was looking for a Bible verse, and I really enjoy the way he writes. But this is very interesting, related to thankfulness. Apparently, what happened to him, he was going somewhere one day and he was robbed. And he wrote in his diary the following. I'm going to read it to you. He said, "I have so much to be thankful for. I'm thankful to God that He wrought such a change in my heart that it was I who was being robbed and not the one doing the robbing. I'm thankful that even though the young man took my money, he did not take my life also. I'm thankful that even though he took my money, there wasn't much inside my wallet. I'm thankful that I alone was injured and not any additional persons. I'm thankful that my life is so much more than earthly possessions God has granted to me in sojourn here. I'm thankful that even should I have lost my life in this encounter, I know heaven is awaiting for me, where the riches of God's glory far outweigh the total of all of man's riches." Can you imagine being thankful for 5 or 6 things after being robbed? So whatever the negative situation is, the lesson is we can find something to be thankful for. And it is my wish for each one of you here to be able to look for ways to be thankful for.